My name is Andrew and I'm here to persuade you into supporting and using renewable energy. Everything around you uses energy, but at what cost? Well, most people today just worry about paying their very high electricity bill every month. But that's not all. There are serious consequences heading our way if we continue using the resources we are using. But fortunately, there are ways to slow this process down. We just need everyone's cooperation, which will take a long time. I will tell you how renewable energy is significant in our everyday lives, what the effects of non-renewable energy has on our planet Earth, and finally, what you can do to help. Renewable energy is very important to our everyday life. It's used to power the homes that we live in, and it's even in some of the cars that we drive. Let's take California for example. California has the highest population out of every state in the United States, but how does renewable energy fit into this state? Well, as of 2009, 11.6% of all energy used in California is renewable, either from sunlight or hydroelectricity. Let's keep in mind that California has just about 38 million people in the state alone. So this means 4.5 million people are being powered by renewable energy. But even better news is that the current governor of California has set up a bill that says the state of California must have a 33% renewable energy dependency rate by 2020. This will triple the amount of people solely using renewable energy, making it over 12.5 million. Then of course, let's take a look at the entire United States. 8% of all energy used in the United States is renewable, given the environmental impacts associated with the current fuel mix, including climate change, acid rain, lots of freshwater uses, air pollution, and radioactive waste. Renewable energy has a very good potential to meet the demand for power with a much smaller environmental footprint. Renewable energy could also play a significant role in getting rid of other problems such as energy security. By reducing our need for foreign oil, we don't risk our own safety by sending our own citizens to get it. Okay, so now we have the facts about our renewable energy usage. But what kind of trauma does the Earth take with 92% of the population using limited resources? These very serious effects include damage to the ozone layer, acid rain, pollution of our land, and not so common oil spills. We only have one ozone layer and we need it, but we are destroying it. The processing of fossil fuels emits harmful greenhouse gases into the air. These gases, primarily carbon dioxide, damage the ozone layer, which protects us from the sun's radiation. And that radiation can cause cancer and ultimately hurt a lot of people. Aside from hurting people in that way, it also kills crops and other food sources. Without the food, there's no way we can survive. Next we have acid rain. Acid rain is created by the emission of sulfur and other chemicals into the atmosphere, often from the conversion of fossil fuels into electricity. It is corrosive to the machinery and can disrupt local ecosystems. In 1991, there was a study that concluded that 5% of all lakes were acidic and unable to support the lives of fish, thus depleting another food source we rely heavily on. Then there's basic land pollution. Harmful ash stored in solid waste containment areas, which are prone to rupturing and causing havoc in the surrounding areas. In 2008, the containment area at Kingston Fossil Plant in Tennessee ruptured, releasing 4.5 million cubic yards of toxic sludge, which damaged houses in the surrounding areas, released harmful ash into the air. And finally, we have the not-so-common oil spills. Oil spills are very devastating. Just one example, the BP oil spill covered over 580 square miles of the ocean in a matter of 3 days. It ruins all the marine wildlife habitats by covering everything in oil, making the living conditions unbearable. It kills everything that's in its path. Now, what can you do to help out? There are many things you can do, just the fact that most people won't be able to handle the financial aspect of it. Solar panels would have to be the first example of the high cost but great output devices. Unfortunately, you have to shell out a whopping $11,000 just to get the panels themselves, not including installation. But guess what those panels do for you? Well, during the summer months, where the sun is shining most of the day, you can start paying $0 and actually have backup electricity that you'll get from the electric company, absolutely free. Over a period of years, you can easily pay off the solar panels, and you might even be able to become independent as far as electricity is concerned. Next, you have wind turbines. This is where the money is spent. An average wind turbine for a consumer costs around $40,000, $30,000 more than the average solar panel costs. What separates solar from wind power? Well, solar would obviously be the way to go. Solar only takes an average of 7 years to pay for itself, but wind can take anywhere from 15 to 30 years. Of course, there's always a free option to reducing your impact on the non-renewable energy usage, and it's basically just using less energy. It's the simplest thing you can do, and it saves you money. In conclusion, renewable energy is used every day, Although it doesn't have a big impact as of right now, some places are taking action to reduce the use of non-renewable energy. If we continue to use non-renewable energy, it will have a big impact on our environment and will eventually make it uninhabitable. But there's always options that you have as a citizen. Solar panels, wind turbines may be expensive, but can make you independent from the government's power supply. And finally, just turn off some lights when you leave a room. Simple things like that can save you money and help the environment.